is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I just did a killer workout with the Anjuli Fit Squad on live Zoom, and then I realized I never actually ended my Let's Get Lean series. So I thought I would just wrap up the series with a little chit chat about how everything went, as well as answering some of your questions that you've sent me on Instagram, all to do with shredding and nutrition and training. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and as always, if you do, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. You guys would have seen my kind of 6-week transformation journey. If you haven't, go check out that video. It was my last Let's Get Lean series video, where I was meant to announce that I was going to be stepping on stage at the WBFF Gold Coast show on the 2nd of May, but with everything that's happening in the world, plans have changed. So I pretty much was shredding for about 6 weeks. I went down from 65.3 kilos down by about 4.5 kilos in the 6 weeks. So it was very consistent. I absolutely slayed it. My body responded really well. And since then, New Zealand has gone into like a level 4 lockdown. All the gyms have been shut. I just didn't want to lose that shredding progress. So I really wanted to get my calories up as soon as possible. So I started reverse dieting. And as of today, I am sitting at about the same weight that I ended my shred on, but I am eating well over 2,000 calories. So I ended my shred at about 1,500 calories, and I'm now supposed to be eating, as of yesterday, 2,310 calories. So the idea of a reverse diet is to increase your calories and decrease the amount of extra cardio you were doing. I was very fortunate that in 6 weeks I didn't really need to introduce any extra cardio. I'm glad that I actually stopped my shred before getting below 60 kilos to the level where I struggle to push past. So I'm very happy to say that I have been maintaining my weight during the lockdown. I've been hitting my workouts. My waist has gone up a little bit, but my weight has stayed the same, and my glutes have gone up 2 centimeters. So I am putting in the work during this kind of tough time in the world, and I'm feeling really good about that. Kind of wanted to talk about my goals moving forward from here. So of course, I don't want to be shredding for nothing. Like, I'm not going on holidays. I'm not competing anytime soon. I probably won't compete this year, and like, it's winter in New Zealand, so kind of seems pointless to get shredded if all I'm going to be doing is just looking at myself.
Looking good.
I really wanted to take care of my overall health, mental and physical, get my calories up as soon as possible whilst maintaining this new shape. So the idea is that at the end of this lockdown, I'll be well over 2,000 calories. Hopefully I'll be at about 2,400 calories, and I'll be able to hit the gym, lift heavy, and build some solid muscle, so that when the time to shred comes again, I'll be able to shred on higher calories with less cardio than ever before. This is the second time I've actually done a reverse diet properly. The last time I properly reverse dieted was back in 2017. So this is very exciting for me. I know they've had a lot of questions about reverse dieting and my goals moving forward, but my goal is just to be happy, healthy, and strong as always. I'm kind of working on being more flexible with my food. So as you've seen on Instagram, and you'll see in my next YouTube video of a full day of eating, I am eating foods that I love, and I'm fitting them into my macros, and there are no food police here. So if I want an ice cream, I'm gonna have an ice cream. Okay, let's get into the questions. If you guys have any questions about my goals and what I'm doing right now, feel free to put them in the comments below, but I do have a whole lot of questions that came through on Instagram, so I'm just going to quick fire through them just so I can wrap up this Let's Get Lean series. Andrea, is there such thing as having too much fruit during the day? If so, how much is too much? I believe that everything should be eaten in moderation, whether that's dairy, whether it's gluten, whether it's fruit, whether it's ice cream, whatever it is. I do believe in moderation, so I wouldn't advise that you go out and eat like every single piece of fruit all day and that's the only thing you eat, but there's nothing wrong with fruit. When it comes to fat loss, the key is caloric intake. So yes, there is such thing as too much fruit if you're eating over your calories and your goal is fat loss. But in terms of eating any kinds of foods, just make them fit into your macros and be reasonable about the micronutrients that you're putting into your body. We need a good balance of proteins, fats, and carbs. I primarily focus on whole foods, so about, I'd say, 90% whole foods and 10% is going to be like the extra things that I like to fit in, such as custard or ice cream or chocolate. Stacey, go-to healthy, sweet, and savory snack. My go-to sweet snack right now has been Jelly Light, the sugar-free jelly. It's like, I think, 30 calories for a pack. Absolutely love that, and I've been topping it with berry Greek yogurt, so higher protein Greek yogurt. It is a delicious dessert or snack for any time in the day. And then my favorite savory snack, I would say probably something on rice cakes, maybe like tuna on rice cakes. Not much of a savory person. Maybe like egg whites on toast is a really good kind of snack that I like to have as well. Layla, how do you calculate your macros for your off season? The percentage split. So a lot of people ask me what split I use for my proteins, fats, and carbs, and honestly it really varies based on my goals, whether I'm shredding or whether I'm building lean muscle. I have tried different things leading up to competitions. I've done 4 competitions and I've had 4 different coaches for each of those competitions. It helps me see what I like in a coach, what I don't like in a coach, and also just gives me an idea of how different coaches work. But in terms of my own calculations and things like that, it's pretty much the same in terms of shredding or bulking. Once I've established what my protein intake is, then I can play around with my fats and carbs. I do really love fats, but I also love carbs, so it kind of just depends on how I'm feeling, what my body's responding to. I don't have a set split. Like a real general rule of thumb that a lot of people use for fat loss is 40% carbs, 40% protein, and 20% fat, but it really depends on the individual. Like it's important to have enough fats for our hormonal health, especially as women, but then you also need carbs to fuel you, and you need protein to, of course, maintain muscle mass when shredding or to help you build and recover. Carolina, how do I calculate my macros for weight loss? Head along to anjulimack.com and let me calculate them. How to start counting macros. So for those of you that don't know, macros are proteins, fats, and carbs. I first recommend going and watching my MyFitnessPal vlog. So that one kind of explains how to use MyFitnessPal and how to get started on tracking your macros. Following on from that, I would definitely recommend getting a coach to calculate macros to you and your goals. Using an app like MyFitnessPal is not an accurate or recommended way to calculate your calories because it often calculates them way too low. Definitely get help with that. If you do need any help, as always, you can head along to anjulimack.com and sign up to join my squad so I can calculate your macros for you. And then when you join the squad, you get access to the Facebook group where you'll get a free PDF explaining exactly how to count your calories, how to count your macros, and how to set up MyFitnessPal. It's a step-by-step guide. But of course, if you need any extra help and you just have questions for me, leave a comment on this video. I would love to help you. A quick and easy meal prep, but still counting macros. So I do have videos on how to do meal prep on my YouTube, but pretty much what I'll do is I'll pick my protein source, I'll pick my carb source, and then I'll pick a vegetable kind of mix of some sort, which is frozen. I will cook all things individually or make up something like a bolognese. So in terms of, say, a really easy meal prep, I'd have 500 grams of chicken, 500 grams of vegetables, and then maybe like a kilo or 2 of sweet potato. All I would do is pan fry the chicken, and then I'd split it into 4 meals. Same with the vegetables, split it into 4 meals, so 125 grams per meal. And then with the sweet potato, I would weigh it raw, boil it, and then split that into 4 meals, and then just Tupperware it, put it in the fridge. If you're not going to be having it for a few days, you could put it in the freezer and then take it out the day before you need it or the morning of. Keep it nice and simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it. If you want to add sauces, you can do that. If you want to add seasonings, you could add something like a Himalayan pink rock salt Cajun seasoning, a 0-calorie sauce. Maybe you want to add a 50% less sugar, ketchup. There's so many different ways to spice up your meals and make them delicious while still achieving your goals. Your thoughts on carb cycling. So carb cycling, it really depends on the individual what you want to do, whether you want to eat the same thing every day to keep it nice and simple, or if you want to carb cycle and have higher carbs on on, say, a leg day as opposed to a rest day. So when I'm competing, I might, towards the end of a shred, end up having higher carbs for a leg day and lower carbs on a rest day, just because it helps give me that extra bit of energy to push through the workout. For the Anjuli Fit Squad, I do give them carb cycling, but if they want to stick to one day that they enjoy most on the plan, they can do that. So some people like high carbs, some people like high fat. At the end of the day, the most important thing is overall calories and what works for you and what you enjoy, and again, what you can stick to, because consistency is key when it comes to getting results, whether you're looking to build lean muscle or to shred fat. What do you think was the hardest thing for you during prep? I'm not gonna lie to you, competition prep is hard. It's never going to be super easy, but it gets easier each time you do it to a certain extent, because it becomes a process and you just understand it. I would say that the hardest thing for me on a prep is the relationship that you have with yourself and food, in terms of how you view yourself. So leading into a competition, sometimes you might think, oh, am I going to be ready? Do I look lean enough? And then, after the competition, once everything's done, you'll look back at your photos and you're like, oh my gosh, I was tiny. There's no way I wasn't going to be ready for the competition. So it's just the mind games when you are shredding down to that level. And then hunger, it's always going to hit you. If you are looking to push things to a whole nother level where you've never taken your body before, it's natural that you're going to get hungry in a caloric deficit. So it's just fighting off that hunger and making sure that you stay on track with achieving your goals. And in all honesty, I love competition prep, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't put myself through 4 months of extreme consistency if I didn't love the process and the end result. However, I would probably say the hardest thing about prep isn't actually the prep itself, it's after the competition. It's controlling your calories after you've gotten off stage and into the building phase, and seeing your body change, seeing your body gain more fat, because we need fat on our bodies as women, but it's just such a mental game to see our bodies changing. And I do want to do a video on this. It's so hard to see your abs slowly fading and to lose sight of that kind of motivation that you had when looking to step on stage in a bikini. It's just a whole different mind game. So it's definitely post-comp is the hardest thing I handle when it comes to all things competing, and I know a lot of other women out there feel the same. Okay, last question I'm gonna answer is from Anna. How much cardio and lifting do you do to reach your stage look? So it varies from competition to competition depending on the coach. The ultimate goal for myself and anyone out there listening to this is to lose fat on the highest amount of calories with the least amount of additional cardio. My goal year round, every single day, is to hit 10,000 steps. I've been doing this for almost a year and a half. I've hit 10,000 steps every single day. That's just a personal goal. I love getting out walking and getting some movement in. So my main kind of focus is to get stronger in the gym, to focus on weightlifting sessions, and then just to hit my steps. As I get closer to the stage, I will introduce some kind of hit, which will be something like 10 bike sprints for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Varies from show to show. Hopefully by the next time I step on stage next year, I will be on the highest amount of calories possible with the least amount of cardio, maybe even no cardio, who knows. The ultimate goal is just to get my calories up high right now, and so when the shred time comes, I focus on just lifting, staying strong, getting stronger if possible, and then slowly lowering my calories. That wraps up my Q&A. It wraps up the Let's Get Lean series. I am very sad that I didn't get to end this series with me stepping on stage, but you know what? My time will come. I am not done with competing. I absolutely love it, and I cannot wait to step on that stage again. But for now, my focus is just getting through the lockdown, and I'm going to be putting out more videos on YouTube. I'm going to aim for 2 a week, so stay tuned. Make sure that you hit the little bell and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you never miss another YouTube video with me again. Bye!